Today on Brilliance Business TV, born of African, Native American, Cherokee and French descendants, Ikill Orion was destined to answer his calling. As an ex-poet, music visionary, fashion rebel and global brand, the ascending black star had a revelation to rock the world. Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a wonderful guest today, Ikill Orion. Ikill is a world-renowned superstar in the music industry. I'm really excited to have a conversation with him. And we all know how hard it is in the beginning to grow a global brand. This guy is one to look forward to. I just want to make an official shout out to our show sponsors, Dreamweaver Artist Ranch. So hey, Dreamweaver Artist Ranch, and we are streaming live on mspnewsglobal.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we're also streaming through the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many, many more. Let's bring in our incredible guest, Ikill Orion. Ikill, welcome to the Brilliance Business TV show.
What's going on, Mark? How you doing, man?
Doing really, really well. I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you. I've been checking out your music, Ikill. I am a big fan already.
That's awesome. And speaking of music, I love the music for your show. It's very energetic, and it just kind of puts me in that club mentality. It's great, man. I'm like, while you're doing the intro, I'm backstage dancing and doing my thing. So it's awesome, man.
So you're an internationally acclaimed artist and a global brand. I really want to dig deep into the brand side of things because I love everything to do with brand. Exactly. I would like to just go back a little bit first, Ikill, and just talk a little bit about your past and background that has led you to the work you're doing in the music industry and to build your global brand.
Absolutely. Well, to make a long story short, I'm originally born and raised from New Orleans, which I'm sure a lot of people can testify. New Orleans is known for jazz and funk and blues. I was fortunate to be raised in an environment that's very culturally enriched and that really that really supports, music and culture. And spent a lot of time in New York City. And as I grew and developed as an artist, I realized the importance to connect the dots, not only from a musical standpoint, but to bring in other elements, of my brand, which is composed of, TV and film and fashion. And moved out to LA a couple years ago and just been really like from a DIY perspective, always just been very brand centric. And in recent years had an opportunity to converge and take advantage of the technology, which kind of leads me to where I'm at right now. So this is an exciting time for creatives and entrepreneurs to think outside the box and to be uniquely who you are and to strive and shoot for the stars and just be yourself and express yourself.
You are certainly shooting for the stars, Ikill, and you are being yourself. Firstly, I would like to ask you as well, how is it in LA? It's somewhere I'm visiting probably February, March
Wow.
next year. I was coming out September, but flights from the UK are a no-no at the moment.
You know what? Whenever you come to LA, you're gonna love it. It's a place that, like being from New Orleans and then moving to New York. I never thought I would be in LA, and it was one of the greatest decisions I could have made for many different reasons. Not only for a career perspective, but just the energy and the there's definitely a scene in the vibe, in terms of media, content creation, music, fashion, entertainment. I think is all kind of like, permeating right here. So I think when you come out, you're going to have a blast. And I'm sure you're going to probably want to spend longer time here than you probably already have booked. But, and when you come out, we'll get together and we'll hang out. I'll show you around and things like that. Absolutely.
And I would like to touch on fashion. Tell me what fashion means to you, Ikill, and where do you get your inspiration from? I'm loving the print that you have on at the moment.
Well, for me, fashion, essentially is art at the end of the day. I think there's a lot of energy that's being, that gets put into the process of manufacturing and design, and it's a lost art. When you see like designers like Coco Chanel and Karl Lagerfeld and McQueen, what they've done, in terms of transforming the industry to where it's become right now. So I've always been, left side music, right side fashion, and somewhere in the middle food too. Those three things has always kind of been my bag of tricks. And New Orleans is kind of synonymous for music and food. And I think I picked up the fashion thing just on my own, just going through magazines like GQ and Vogue when I was younger, and just being inspired about the stories that the page will kind of like showcase to you. And going to New York, being immersed in hip hop culture, you got fashion around all the time. You got street fashion, and being a fixture, on the Soho scene. I was definitely involved in that whole, Soho scene and that punk scene around CBGBs. You see a lot of melting pots of different fashion kind of hybrids, and you're starting to see that come back into the mix now. You're starting to see a lot of different, fashion components. Just I don't like to use the word retro, but I think, fashion is very cyclical. So what goes around comes around, and it's just like music. I think it's for a lot of people, it's the backbone of who they are, and it allows people to like find their own identity and to build a brand around it. So for me, music and fashion has always been closely associated and intertwined.
Definitely a true artist. Fashion and music, they just go hand in hand. Now, you did touch on brands a little bit there. Just tell us about the brand that you have built. I've already checked out a lot of your music catalogue, and you have a lot going on there already, Ikill. And tell us a little bit about the process of what it's been like building up to this brand launch.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, the name of the brand is called Neo by Ikill Orion. And one of the reasons that I wanted to, come out with a brand is to showcase me in totality. I think music is, when you connect with artists musically, you're only seeing one kind of, perspective that they trying to convey. And when you start pulling the other elements into a brand like, TV and fashion and film, which I've always had a foot in that. I used to host a television show, and I've always been into fashion, and I've done a lot of things in front of the camera. So for me, it's just always been who I am. So it's not like me trying to go out and say, yeah, I'm going to become a brand this day. I've just always had that DIY aesthetic, and when you look at, communities like punk, you look at, people like the Sex Pistols and the Rolling Stones and David Bowie, they've always been, about their image and their visualization. And then when you bring it into the 80s, you see Madonna and Prince, and Michael Jackson, and up into the 2000s with Lady Gaga and Rihanna and Kanye West. And now, wait 1 second. Now, 2022, you got Ikill Orion. So I'm kind of like the poster child in the unborn child that kind of comes from that era all the way into now. And all I'm doing is just building a bridge and kind of taking a page from everybody who I've like name checked and see what they have done in terms of, allowing themselves to express themselves in totality, and just doing it in my own way that I do who I am. So when you hear my music, there's a certain kind of energy. And when you check out my TV show that's in development, that has a certain kind of energy and the fashion, and it's all dialed in. But at the end of the day, I think people want to see the uniqueness of anyone, especially when they connect with them. And that was one of the main reasons I really wanted to, come out and re-emphasize the importance of brand as opposed to just being another artist.
Yes, I'm big fans of all the names that you name there, and they are true artists.
Who wouldn't be? They're icons. They're icons. So hat needs to go off to those type of people, because if it wasn't for Madonna, there wouldn't be no Lady Gaga, and if it wasn't
definitely
for like Mick Jagger, there wouldn't be. No offense, Adam Levine, but there wouldn't be Adam Levine, making songs like Moves Like Jagger. You have to showcase this continuity, this continuum process, because if you don't, you start becoming delusional, and there's nothing new under the sun. So people like Prince and people like Bowie, they need to be held to a higher statute in terms of what they created, what they brought to the table, not only for music, but for fashion, for culture and brand. And for me, that's the language that I speak. That's the truth that needs to be told. And that's what I align with. That's who I am.
And Ikill, like I've mentioned, I've checked out many of your songs. You do bring out all the visionary aspects. It's very visual what you're doing. Totally. Then you've got the fashion, which looks amazing. Yeah. But I did mention to you as well, you have an incredible voice, and the music is so trending. It's really current. Great. So I really enjoyed what you have sent me.
Thank you very much.
How important is it to have a team around you, Ikill? Because when I was looking at your biography, checking out all your links, I was thinking, how has he done all of this? There's so many different parts of what you're doing.
There's a lot of, you know what they say, the average superstar takes about 10 to 15 years in the making. And then you think Billie Eilish is doing all of this on her own. She has about 100 people behind her. Katy Perry, maybe 200, So I think it's just understanding that there's always strengths and weaknesses in what you do. And I've always tried to surround myself with, like, as you say, brilliance and excellence. And I think if you cast a wide net, you're going to attract that kind of energy. And I think it's just, just being true to who I am. You build relationships with people, and it's not always easy. And, to be honest, the industry can be very cutthroat and very untrustworthy, but you have to kind of go beyond that. So I guess the point that I'm saying, the magic really happens in terms of you believing in yourself and you assuming all of those responsibilities. So even though there's a team in place, I literally, when I say I, yes, meaning I have to do pretty much everything. In terms of, correspondence, in terms of, making sure this email gets sent, making sure this production is on time. So it's not about micromanaging, but it's about taking ownership, and because that's part of the process. And that's what people don't really see. That's really deliberation, where you can really truly invest in yourself and express yourself in a capacity where people don't see it. And to me, that's is very sacred. It's something that I hold close to my heart. So I just want to encourage people to, if you're thinking about, becoming an artist, in trying to find your footing, just, step out on faith and just try it, because you have nothing to lose. And then you'll meet the right people at the right time. So I think timing has a lot to do with that.
Following your passions is so important. Too many people don't follow their dreams. I'm a big advocate of following your passions and your dreams, and I like your honesty there about it can be very cutthroat. I talk about this a lot, Ikill, in the business world in general. It can be very dog eat dog, every man for themselves, and I always
survival of the fittest, rat race, right?
And I always say a world of collaboration, cooperation, everybody thrives. Ikill, I have really enjoyed part one of a conversation with you.
Awesome.
Stay where you are. Thank you everyone for joining us for part one of Brilliance Business TV. Join us after the commercial break.
Hello everybody, Cyberchuck 2.0 here. I'm so excited to be able to share my vision of Dreamweaver's Artist Ranch. They say you can't choose your family. Not only am I saying you can choose your family, you get to thrive with your family here at Dreamweaver's Artist Ranch. It's a place for like-minded individuals to come together to share experiences and gain experiences, not only through workshops, through performances, and through exhibits. This is a place where you can disconnect from the outside world and reconnect into a community of people that there is no judgment. There's only support. And this place is an amazing place to grow and to tap into your highest potential and to be able to show off all your talents. This is a place you can come and network and really thrive. I'm so excited for Dreamweaver's Artist Ranch. This is a place where dreams actually come true. I love you all so very much. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.
Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. We are joined with the incredible Ikill Orion.
Awesome.
Ikill, Mikillangelo, your new album.
That's my proud baby boy,
I want to hear all about it. Tell us more.
Well, the record is that particular project, my new album, Mikillangelo, is it's a culmination and a testimony of everything we've kind of already talked about. It's very brand centric and is shining a light back on art, and who better to shine that light on was Mikillangelo, one of the greatest artists of all time. So on my record, Mikillangelo, you're gonna hear funk, you're gonna hear rock elements, definitely electronic driven, but it's the art of storytelling, I think, is a lost art, and we wanted to kind of bring that back into vogue. And as you say, my music is very visual, so when you're listening to the music, whether you've seen me or you haven't seen the video or anything, it kind of teleports you and takes you somewhere, to let you know there's infinite possibilities. There's a lot of potential out there in the cosmos, in the universe. And, me being a person that believes in that kind of synergy and the power and the magic that music have, we wanted to incorporate that on this record. So if you're looking for something that's bombastic and something, that's, wildly imaginative in a good way, and just want to just push the current landscape of music, I think this is a record that deserves, for people to listen to and check out. So it was great, recording and producing this record.
And tell us a little bit about that process, recording a record. How long does that take, Ikill? And then getting the video and all the visionary side done, and then picking all your clothes as well.
Well, there's a pre-production process that starts, immediately, and it's a conversation you're having within, one-on-one. And when I say one-on-one, is that conversation is between your heart and your mind. So this, these songs was always there, and I just had to kind of block out the time to start writing the songs out. So that's the initial stage with me. It's like, writing lyrics, because I am a poet, and I love people like, Leonard Bernstein and Bono and Bob Dylan and, and even Jay-Z and all these great poets. So I always kind of like, go to the pad and start jotting out ideas. And then if I'm, involved with the production side of things, I start looking for collaborators that who I like, and I feel like they can bring something new to the table. And then we just start, feeding each other's ideas. And sometimes it happens where the visual is already in my mind, and I can already see the video before the song, is actually, come to light. So there's no rhyme or reason, but the bigger point of the story is that you just throw yourself in it, and then you just go with it. Some days work better than others, and we just kind of just flow with the creative production process. And I was fortunate to work with several different up and coming producers based all around the globe. And I think a lot of this took place when COVID happened too. So we was forced to kind of, put a lot of the focus and emphasis on becoming more inner, to become more connected with the music, because you couldn't do anything else. You had to kind of like get into your own creative zone. So it's been a true testimony and a labor of love, and I'm very excited and proud, for it to be out and people connecting with it on the level they are right now.
And also, Ikill, you are being considered for a Grammy as well. So congratulations.
Thank
Tell
you.
us all about that.
Well, speaking of processes, that's another process where a lot of the general public doesn't have a clear understanding of how that involves of everything that involves. But basically, your recording has to have a certain kind of technical proficiency, and you have to have a certain kind of criteria in terms of what the music is composed of. So there's a process, and we've been chosen to be considered, which is a testimony to be a independent artist and to be very DIY, and we'll know by the end of the year if we're chosen to go to the next stages to be nominated for a Grammy Award. And this past year, I think, was the first year in the history of the Grammys where 60% of independent artists won Grammys. So that's huge. So it just goes to show you the current landscape where more independent artists are being heard, and people are looking for something new and different.
Congratulations. I wish you lots of success with that, Ikill. And you mentioned it a little bit about the pandemic. Now, I know this has affected the music industry quite a lot. How was the experience for you?
Well, for me, fortunately, I work a lot from home, and my lifestyle is at a point where I integrate music in everything I do. It's like even when I'm not thinking about music, it's thinking about me. I'm in the kitchen, music is on. If I'm out, shopping or doing something with my family, an idea might come across my mind. So I think it's important to have a relationship with whatever you're doing, so you don't feel any anxiety about needing to produce or to fulfill a certain quota. So for what it did for me, it allowed me to slow down but accelerate, slow down, accelerate, slow down, accelerate. And I think a lot of people were kind of like overwhelmed because they never had a chance to kind of like spend that much time with themselves, really. So for me, it was just like I was able and fortunate to get a lot done in terms of production, and to visualize, and put it out there and say, okay, this is where I want to be in 6 months. This is where we want to be in 9 months. Because if you don't do that, you're doing yourself a huge disservice if you don't allow yourself that time to dream and to formulate a plan of action in your mind before you try to manifest it in the physical. So everything that, we've been doing for this has been kind of, it's been something that's been in my psyche for at least the last 2 years. And now just seeing it all kind of unfold in this positive way is just, is beautiful.
You mentioned a great word there, accelerate. Yes. Now, there will be many people out there, maybe new people in the music industry, seeing you accelerate.
Yes.
You are really making moves. You're doing great. And as we've mentioned, it was really hard through the pandemic for the music industry. We've talked about how it can be very cutthroat, dog eat dog. What words of wisdom would you give to people that really want to follow their passion, their purpose, and really make moves in the music industry? Maybe they've struggled through the pandemic. Just give them a few words of hope and inspiration, Ikill.
Well, one thing that always comes back to me personally is never take no for an answer. I mean, you can't put your destiny in any person's hands. You have to, you put on this planet for a reason.
Yes.
You have to find out what you're here for, and then I think you owe it to yourself to follow, and at least, give yourself an opportunity to try. So I think investing in yourself is very important because it is a business. And if you don't have the right tools and the assets and you don't have the right content, you won't really be taken seriously. And, it's important for you to see the strengths in your weaknesses and try to build a team around that. But if the more you can do on your own, the better. So I always encourage people to go out and explore and to pace yourself, because it's a marathon. and nothing happens overnight. And like what we mentioned earlier, those overnight successes takes time, and there's a lot of rejection that comes with it, but rejection can bring about redemption as well. So I think it's very important for you to be comfortable in your own skin. And I think social media has kind of showed us that on many different levels, where there's a lot of bullies and people, that can hide behind the facade, because you don't have to have that personal connection with them. But just, be true to who you are, and try to surround yourself with positive people that believe in you and that align with your purpose and your spirit.
Great words of wisdom, Ikill. Now, I want to talk a little bit now. Your big brand launch happens just in the next couple of days.
Yes.
You must be so excited. Tell us all about the brand launch and what people can expect from it.
Absolutely. Well, like I said earlier, the name of the brand is called Neo by Ikill Orion, and you have the link right there. It's musicglue.com/Ikill Orion, and Music Glue is actually a platform for iconic artists that house their stores. And some of the artists that Music Glue works with is artists like The Police, Pink Floyd, and David Bowie. And so I'm fortunate to be in a really good group of people, in good company. So the launch of the store is going to be a combination of everything lifestyle. You're going to be able to go to the store and get fashion. You're going to be able to get exclusive music there, different bundles you may not get anywhere else. And you'll be able to access art collectibles. And the reason why I wanted to come out with a store is because things change all the time. And as a creative and as an artist, I didn't want to just box myself in and say, well, I can only put out music at this time of the year, or I can only, put out fashion when there's a season involved. I just wanted to have complete autonomy. So, people that want to access videos of anything visual or music, or get inspired by what I'm doing, they can go to the site and get a piece of me, and hopefully they can connect with it and engage with it. And that's what we're hoping to provide for people, a creative and artistic outlet, a home for everyone.
I would encourage everyone to check out Ikill's brand launch. Go to www.musicglue.com/Ikill Orion.
Absolutely.
That's www.musicglue.com Ikill.
There you go. And when you come out to LA, I got to get you a t-shirt. Definitely.
I need to say this once more because I'm tongue-tied today. It's www.musicglue.com/Ikill Orion.
Yes.
Got it. Ikill, thank you so much for being my guest today. I thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you.
It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate everything over the last 2 weeks. I feel like I've been knowing you for a long time. We connected, and I think it's important for people to connect again, and hopefully we coming out of this COVID situation, and I'll get a chance to meet you when you come to LA. And I'm definitely planning on being in London next year in the spring too. So we'll connect when I'm there as well.
Let me know and I will be there. We'll go for coffee and lunch. Ikill. Ikill, once again, thank you for coming on to the Brilliance Business Show.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm definitely going to spread the word. I think you're doing a great job connecting all walks of life, and however I can be a part of that, I'm always here for you.
Once again, it's been my pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for watching Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. Until next time, bye for now.